Hello and welcome back to the Wise Mindset Guy podcast. I am your host, Nat Plastino, and I thank you once again for tuning into my show. I would like to thank everyone who's been listening this month. It's been a great month of downloads. I really appreciate it. If you love any of these episodes that I have today and before, I would really appreciate that you share this episode with a friend or colleague. It really helps this podcast grow. The only way this podcast can grow is by sharing, of course, and of course, rating the podcast if possible. And of course, subscribing is the greatest thank you I can also give to everyone out there who listens. Now, we'll talk a little bit more about the present moment and the idea of rejoicing in the present moment. Now, a lot of times people will complain that the idea of being in the present moment doesn't really exist, because if you think about time if you look at time on a line, a linear scale, right? As you are in the present moment and you are doing things, whether it could be work or play or just hanging out with your friends and so forth, as it's happening, of course, what's happened is become the past. So we always say, okay, don't focus on the past, don't focus on the future, because the future is a mystery. But I mean, and it's difficult to say to be in the present moment because you are always in the present moment, but then it becomes the past. And so it's kind of like, well, what does it mean by being in the present moment? It's about really enjoying when you are doing anything. Sometimes we don't enjoy our life. We don't enjoy the little things that go on. I can be like, when I look at it as an example, I say when my kids are, like, I have a trampoline in my backyard and my kids love jumping on the trampoline. I would say even my wife loves jumping on the trampoline even more than my kids. When they are on the trampoline, they are focused and enjoying the moment of just jumping on there and having fun. That's what it comes down to, be enjoying the moment. I'm not a trampoline kind of guy myself, so yeah, look at it. I have to give an example about present moment. I would say when I used to travel, I still do travel, but before I was married, I used to travel to Italy a lot. And of course, we all know what Italy is. I went to Italy mostly for two things. I mean, great food and of course, art. So when I go to, let's say, the Sistine Chapel in Rome, I would go to see the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican, and I would not be like rushing into the room, have a look at it, take a photo, and leave, right? I would be there, basking in the moment, looking at this beautiful ceiling and say, wow, this is gorgeous. This is a absolute masterpiece. I'm basking in the moment. I'm enjoying the moment. That's what it comes down to. Now, if I was to give a great quote for today in terms of living the present moment, I would look a book I read one time called it was from Osho, so Osho. It's called Freedom from Illusion, and the Book of Ego. So one time I was reading something and it really summed up everything for me. He said, if you can rejoice in this moment, you will be able to rejoice more in the coming moment, because you will become more and more expert in rejoicing, in dancing, in singing, and you will become more and more confident about yourself, that you need not to be somebody else. Whoever you are capable of enjoying the ultimate ecstasy without being rich, without being in power, without being world famous, without being a celebrity. You can just be a nobody, and yet all the treasures of existence can be yours, because they are not outside you. You are unaware of your own richness. Great quote by Osho. It really sums up today's quote of today's episode of just being in the present moment. So all I can say to you listeners out there, enjoy the moment you have. And it becomes the past right away, but enjoy everything, because life is short and we have to enjoy life. That is all for today on the Wise Mindset Guy podcast. This is Nat Plastino signing off. Thank you and bye for now.